in our lives.
Wow, Jake's a real Debbie Downer today. I mean, this is an unbelievable opportunity we're talking about. I got to buy more sunglasses for how bright the future is.
If you notice, Kevin actually didn't address the wave of unemployment at all, because there's no question that it's going to happen. And when we hit the iceberg, we're not going to be ready, and it is going to be an epic disaster.
Change is disruptive and it's uncomfortable, but the scare factor of saying that everybody loses their job and the robots eat the children, I just don't buy it.
I don't know anyone saying that the robots are going to eat the children. And I understand that change.
No, the robots are going to take our children's jobs, bro. That's what we're worried about. Like, why the hell am I trying to convince my little cousins and the little brothers and stuff to go to college when they're going to get out and it's going to be taken by AI? Like, what the hell do I look like telling them to get into debt when the AI is taking the job? So no, the AI ain't going to eat the children. It's going to take their jobs. That's what we don't want.
Happens, but we have to be careful with change, because by 2028 we're going to have disaster from AI, unemployment, and disaster from the war. The only hope is electing a smart person who's prepared in 2028. And Republicans, I have one thing to tell you. No.
Oh, wow.
No. There's no way. Nobody's showing up to vote. Their voter enthusiasm is obliterated.
But the Democrats have also lost their way.
And the Republicans only have one guy who could win, and I'm worried about it. Tucker Carlson.
So as we head towards the midterms, but also the elections, which aren't actually that far away now, do you agree that we're heading towards a more socialist America?
So let me just say this. How about that for an answer?
You know what's crazy? With this whole AI, the whole universal income thing might be something that might have to be implemented. But then here's the problem with the universal income. It's going to have to be done on their terms. You're going to have to submit to the government, which would now be presumed as the holy government empire. And you will take the chip in the hand, take the mark on the head, and you'll get a nice, beautiful universal income that you'll live off of, you and your family. Oh yeah. And you're only allowed to have like 1 or 2 kids, because remember, you're living off their dime. So, you know, to get your universal income check, you have to abide by their family restrictions and all this good stuff. So I'm just preparing you for this the dystopian reality when universal income sets in and when AI takes all the jobs. Just setting you up for it, so you know you can make all the right choices. Joking, hopefully.
This is super interesting to me. My team give me this report to show me how many of you that watch this show subscribe. And some of you have told us, according to this, that you are unsubscribed from the channel. Thank you so much for being here with me. There's so much going on in the world that I have so many questions, and you both have very different perspectives on all of the issues that I care about the most. So I thought I'd bring us together to try and pass through what is true. Unlike a lot of shows, I don't expect a shouting match. What I'm trying to get is to truth. And I'm hoping that seeing the collision of your ideas on some of the big issues that are front of mind for me, like artificial intelligence, like geopolitics, like what's going on in America now that I live there, I think will be incredibly beneficial to me and hopefully therefore my audience. I have this graph here that says 7 in 10 Americans oppose local construction of AI data centers.
If you go back in time, any new technology is extremely disruptive. Change is disruptive and it's uncomfortable. And it always is that way. And yet it always proves within the context of the American economy to create a lot of productivity and opportunity. And I would argue today, if we're going to find a cure for cancer, it's going to be through AI. If we're going to democratize education, it'll be through AI. If we're going to do some advances on space research and travel, it'll be through AI.
I mean, but here's the thing. And I mean, that sounds great and all, but what about the human factor? Like, so what is the engineers going to do? What is the doctors going to do? The biochemists, what are they all about to do once AI is doing all of this? Like, what, just sit at the crib, take the universal income and the cricket powder? Like, what are we doing after that? Because I mean, you make it sound like such a beautiful thing, but you forget the main part of, yeah, what the F do we do? Or are you guys just thinking about the millions upon billions of dollars you guys will be making while we're just sitting in destitute poverty? Like, I just want to know, like, how does this look in y'all head? Well, really, Kevin O'Leary's head.
Productivity in the S&P 500, and it's all small companies, AI. And you can't have it without data centers. You actually need the underpinnings, the infrastructure. And so that debate, that narrative's going on. But there's a dark side to this that I've only started to bring forward in the last couple of weeks. I discovered this in Utah. That there are some nefarious forces. Arabella is the name of it. I didn't know anything about it, but I was wondering who was spending all the money in Utah with all that misinformation about what the data center was going to be, talking about using water we weren't, or using power we had no intention to, or 40,000 acres. That's complete BS.
Well, here's the problem. They're saying that because other data centers around America have done that exact thing. It caused water shortage in the area and slight water pollution. And then, of course, it caused electricity bills to go up because now that area needs more electricity because the data centers are dragging on the energy grid. So, yeah. And here's the thing, though. I thought we were supposed to let you guys, before you guys build, you guys are supposed to be able to create your own energy. So this didn't happen. That's why I kind of feel like you guys put the cart before the horse, because why is this even a matter of complaint? Like when this was first sold to us, you guys said that you were going to start building your own reactors, nuclear reactors, whatever you need to start making your own energy. So this wouldn't be a problem. But then now that it's in execution, this is the problem that you guys said you were going to solve in the first place have not been tackled. And it's kind of dumb. Like, are you serious? So y'all literally thought you was going to be able to do this without tackling the energy problem? Okay.
It was all lies. And I said, who could afford that? So I've hired a bunch of forensic auditors, and lo and behold, it took me back to the Chinese through Arabellum. Neville Singham is his name. He's funding all these organizations in Utah, and I caught him through the IRS 990 filings, and I handed it over to the White House and to a bunch of special agents. And I just wonder what's going to happen next. I'm loving this now. This is so interesting, and it's a national debate, and the poo-poo's hit the fan. But I'm not debating this. I'm not suggesting it. I have irrefutable evidence the Chinese are meddling in every place where new power is being proposed in America, every state, every city. And it all goes.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. China has way less data centers than us, and their AI is like basically close to ours. So what does that tell you? It tells you that, well, maybe all these data centers aren't even necessarily needed, and we might be doing things backwards, or running the AI the most inefficient way possible. Because China, they're running a pretty efficient AI close to ours with less data centers. So maybe we might want to backtrack and rethink this a little bit. That, and here's the thing, is like, bro, so he's so caught up in trying to beat China, dog. You're gonna become like these Chinese guys who don't give a fuck about the environment, who don't give a fuck about their people at all. That's why China's able to excel so well in AI, because when you ask the Chinese government about, well, what am I gonna do for work, they're gonna tell you to kick rocks. When you tell the Chinese government about, oh, well, what about the environment? I'm like, my nigga, you think they care about the environment? They refine rare earth materials around neighborhoods, bro. People are dying of cancer around those places and they don't give a fuck. So it's like, bro, do you want to be like them in order to beat them? Is that really where you want to go? Like, let's just be real here.
Back to the Chinese through this Arabellum. And just look at the IRS filings. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just providing the truth.
Kevin, so just for context here, there is a proposal to build some data centers in Utah, and you're saying that the pushback and the negative reaction that has been seen is being encouraged or sponsored by the Chinese, who are driving misinformation through bots? Is that what you're proposing?
No, it's not through bots. It's actually through contributions that are shown through a wide network of different entities. It's very well cloaked, but through forensic audit and IP address scraping, with some really strong data scientists that I hired and I'm working with, we were able to provide 90 pages of IP addresses from foreigners to various agents and various entities within the U.S. government. And we're going to keep doing it. We're providing it every 4 hours. Because one thing I have that I guess they hadn't thought through is I have 12 million followers on social media. No data center developer has 4 million followers. This all showed up on my feeds with bots.
Is it me, or this man is having like a main character moment, bro? It's him versus China. It's Kevin O'Leary versus China, guys. He's having a main character moment.
On Twitter, which is now X, and on Instagram, bro. And then on.
Shout out to my man King, and for sending the 100 for 2 jewels. Appreciate the support, guys. If you have any questions, comments, jokes, disagreements, I'll be happy to read it out loud and engage with you. You can send a super chat, Venmo, or if you just want to show support, send a gift. Okay.
LinkedIn.
Well, let's get back to my man's main character superhero moment where he defends the US and beats China so that we I'm sorry, I can't even finish the joke without laughing. But it's pretty much where it's Kevin O'Leary versus China, where he beats China in the defense of the US and the AI over. Okay, I can't. I'm sorry. But let's just be real. My man is having a complete main character moment. It's him against China. He's defending us from China's AI takeover. And we should all just be thanking Kevin O'Leary, guys. What are we debating him for, guys? We should just be thanking him. Damn near kissing his feet.
So we just provided the data to the government, and where the chips fall, I have no idea. And we had death threats to our executives. I provided that to the FBI, and they visited the woman who did it in Denver. I think scared the pee-pee right out of her, but she won't be doing that again. So, I mean, listen, bring it. Don't mess with me. I'm just going to provide the data back to the government.
China.
I'm just telling the truth. I'm not debating it. I'm not suggesting it. I'm providing the IRS filings of the cash coming from Arabella right into the Alliance for a Better Utah.
Bro, literally.
End of story. I mean, listen, I didn't ask for this fight. I'm just providing the data.
Is that how you see things? Are you seeing the pushback in terms of AI? Do you think it's coming from Chinese-sponsored actors, or do you think it's something else?
No, I don't think China has anything to do with it. So first off, there's a lot of things Kevin and I share. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm a capitalist and went to Wharton Business School. So I love America. I love the opportunity that America provides. I wanted to provide opportunity for all sorts of new businesses. So that's not remotely the issue. Okay, so the question is, are we going to pay our own costs? So now on the AI data centers, in the beginning, I started reading these stories about how the data centers are driving up the energy costs for everybody in that community that they're based in, and I couldn't believe it. But then I thought, okay, since we have basically legalized bribery in America, that probably is true. They probably, given enough campaign contributions to make this happen, and it turns out they have. No, if you're going to do a data center, you have to pay for it, and you have to pay for all of its costs. None of this subsidizing your costs to the average taxpayer who's not getting anything out of it. Yeah. So we have to be absolutely.
I mean, that's completely fair. And if you can't do it, then find a more efficient way of running this AI. I mean, I don't know, tap into nuclear energy. I don't know, get creative, get into 0-point energy, but do something besides making the American people pay for it. Is either you got to get fancy or you just got to abandon the project. But I would prefer you guys just get more effective, more efficient with the energy use. There's different forms of energy you guys can be using to power AI. It doesn't have to be through the data centers like this. Like, there's way more effective ways. Maybe if release that Invention Secrecy Act, maybe we can get into some of those inventions, but that's a topic for another live.
Ridiculous about who's paying for the cost of the data centers, and it should be the businesses that profit from it, unless you'd like to have the American people take some equity in your business, because if we're going to pay your costs, well, obviously we should have equity in it. When we bailed out the bankers back in 2008, it was an absolute crime. We should have taken equity in those companies and then sold it later for a profit. I don't want the government to run banks, but I do want us to not be suckers. We constantly pay for the research of the drug companies and never get any equity. So if you're going to be capitalists, let's be capitalists. Now, the real reason why people are most angry about AI is not even the data centers, and they have every right to be livid about their energy costs being higher so somebody else can make a buck. But the bigger issue is the unemployment that we're all worried is coming, and it most definitely is. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of happy talk about, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, robots.
Property management companies and AR personnel are all being dropped right now because of AI. Yeah, like jobs to be a property management personnel in Columbus, all taken by AI. And then also, some of these call center jobs has been taken by AI. Now, there have been some of these guys that took it off and actually brought back real humans because the AI was just fucking up that much. But trust me, they're trying it. And if they haven't failed, trust me, they're implementing it. They succeeded, and they're already replacing us. And a couple of jobs already. So like I said, there's already jobs in Columbus that are no longer viable jobs for humans. It's all ran by AI already. And that's HR and property management personnel.
are going to be cooking our salmon, or 2 years from now. I don't really care. I don't need my salmon cooked by a robot. What I care about is, are we going to have massive unemployment? And right now, and I'm curious what Kevin's going to say about this, because it's kind of indisputable if you're in the business community, everybody is in a rush to fire 10 to 25% of their workforce. And whoever gets there first gets a competitive advantage, and the market's rewarded, and their stock price goes up. Well, if everybody goes to fire 10 to 25% of their employees, we're going to have not just a recession, but a depression like we've never seen in our lives.
Riots in the
And everybody's
street.
whistling past the graveyard here. So do we have a plan? Does the government have a plan? The only guy I've ever heard of working on a plan to deal with this tsunami of unemployment is Rokana. Other than him, it's crickets. And I think we're going to hit the iceberg really hard.
Interestingly, Cenk, the other person that I've heard talk about the unemployment wave coming has actually been some of the big AI CEOs. And if you go back and look at their quotes through time, people like Sam Altman predicted that there will need to be some kind of UBI scheme. And I think Wine, which is his other startup that uses retina scanning to be able to distribute value to people, to check they're humans. One of the principles of the foundation of that company was to distribute UBI, universal basic income, to everybody. So on this point, Kevin, do you disagree that there will be a widespread unemployment apocalypse, as Cenk has called it on his Twitter feed?
Yep.
So let's.
I think there will. And here's the thing, though. I mean, dog, while there's a Great Depression going on, there's going to be riots in the streets. And not to get gruesome, but they're going to start putting heads on sticks. And the heads on sticks are going to be the heads of billionaires, AI billionaires, who pretty much took all of their jobs. And they're going to look for vengeance. And everybody's going to be Luigi Mangione out here in these streets. That's why all the billionaires and, CEOs are shaking in their boots when they heard about Luigi Mangione, because they all know it's like, you know what? I'm pretty sure my business might ruin a couple lives, and there's some people that might want to take me out for that. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure. Not saying that is right, but these business owners know what they've done. But here's the thing, though. If they let this happen, then yes, they'll be right in the streets. People like Elon, Sam Altman will need triple the security, because yes, regular people will be coming from them on a daily basis. They'll need as much security as the president if this actually happens. If the AI does start taking jobs like that. The richest of people will need the most security, because, bro, the average people will be coming from them. I'm talking about it's going to be full-on warfare, bro. It's going to be like jihad against the AI technocrats. Like, I'm going to be real with you guys. It's going to be crazy.
Go through Jack's shopping list of disaster. I think it's fair to address them one at a time. Let's talk with the energy. I totally agree with him. You can't build a data center anywhere and tap into the grid, because he's right. The price of energy would go up at the library, the church, and the community center by 30%. And that's what happened in Virginia. So that is no longer a possibility. In Utah, for example, I have to bring my own power. But the idea would be, if we produce this energy, because there's no data centers without energy, we'll put it back into the grid, not just for Utah, but for the whole country, because I think he's right. Anybody that's building a new data center should have the responsibility to provide the power and put some of it back into the grid. That would solve two problems at once. The grid is tapped out. The library has no more power. We'll solve that problem for Utah and the country. So that's the first falsehood I run into, fueled by the Chinese propaganda that came into Utah, or whoever they are at Arabella, the CPP, or the whoever this agency is, because you have to follow it through all these nefarious holdings. But at the end of the day, that's number one. Number two, the idea that everybody gets replaced by robots and then they eat the children, I don't buy that at all. Every new technology in American history for over 200 years has created vast opportunity, productivity, and fueled the economy to lead all economies on Earth by 20%, which is...
But, okay. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, dog, you say, hey, yeah, I mean, oh, no, it's not going to take jobs. All right, well, explain how it's not going to take jobs, and explain the jobs that it will create. Because you guys cannot explain the jobs or point to the jobs that AI is creating, or the millions of jobs that it's creating. But we can point to the millions of jobs that it's taking and getting ready to take. So please, you need to do a better job explaining to us what benefits AI is going to bring us up front. Because right now, we're only seeing the disadvantages up front in our face.
Still the case today. Now, it's an uncomfortable reality, the market hit new highs today. And that is an index of how great American companies are. And the smaller companies that are 5 to 500 employees also hitting on all cylinders now, using AI tools for productivity, customer acquisition, maintenance. So the scare factor of saying that everybody loses their job and the robots eat the children, I just don't buy it. And so I think we should have that debate, but you don't know yet what opportunities there are in the economy driven by this new technology. So I think I know there's fear and loathing.
Bro, you're the one leading this technology. You're the one that's going to be for sure making money off this technology. So we'd hope that you'd have the knowledge on what this technology can provide to humanity and not what it can take from us. I would hope you'd be able to provide it since you're one of the lead investors in it. I'm just saying. Like, if you're a lead investor in something, you're putting all this money into it, you would think you'd have a pretty good amount of knowledge, not a grade A expert, not like you're one of these like people building the AI, but you should be able to have a pretty good framework of how this should work out for the people and how it won't be replacing jobs. Like, and yeah, I know there's people who can work like with an AI assistant, but that's not what these jobs are doing. They're outright replacing them with AI or the people with AI, not going like, here's your new AI assistant to make you more productive. Here you go. No, it's here's this AI assistant, pack your bags.
And I think it's important to have that narrative. I think it's great to debate it, but I think we should deal with fact. It's very, very uncomfortable when change hits anywhere. And yet it's proven itself within the context of the American economy to rise it above all challenges and still lead the world. Unfortunately, there's the issue of defense and the economy against China. They're our big adversary. In this last conflict in the Middle East, where very few boots hit the ground, it was the technology that provided the ordnance precision that's been used. In the future, wars will be conducted using AI. And unfortunately, the country with the best AI technology will win those wars.
You know what? That's probably the only good thing. That's probably the only good thing he said is that instead of humans going out there dying on the battlefield, we'll just be destroying expensive droids. And, whatever droid is the most expensive being destroyed, and we can just bankrupt the other country by destroying all their droids. That's who now win wars. Instead of blood, we just have a whole bunch of broken mechanical parts all over the place. I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that. That's probably the only one good thing he said. One good thing.
I would certainly not want China to be ahead of us. Yet I think they're the ones that would like to stop us building power and developing our AI platforms because they have something called DeepSeek. I just want to put a fact out there because we're talking about this. While we were stymied in building any new power, forget about data centers, just new power. The Chinese in the last 19 months built 400 gigawatts of power off burning coal.
Yeah.
They don't care about the environment. They don't have any policy about that.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Like I said, they don't care. It's like they burn all the coal they want, they do all the rare earth refinery they want, no matter how bad it is on the environment. Like there's a reason why we don't do exactly what China does, is because it fucks up the environment. In China, they just don't care. We got tree huggers over here that's willing to chain their ass to a tree, okay? Like, and we actually care about them. In China, they kill you. Here, we hear you out. Lucky.
Have a supreme leader who points his finger at the ground and says, build a coal burning plant here, put a data center behind it, or you'll disappear in 18 months. And the people involved say, chop, chop, supreme leader, we will make it happen. We can't do that in America, and he knows that. So he's spending as much money as he can, making sure he stymies the efforts of every entrepreneur.
Hey, and shout out to my man Noah Jordan. He's like, all good unless AI gains sentience. Yeah, that's the problem. When AI is able to produce itself, just like how we're able to produce more of ourselves, that's when it becomes a problem. But here's the thing: when AI produces itself, we produce like a baby, like, this baby, we got to teach it stuff. We got to grow it up. When AI produces itself, it's producing a complete replica of itself that knows everything it knows, got all the database that it got, and it's probably going to expand and use that database that it originated from its parent AI in a more advanced way or a more efficient and advanced way. So you see the problem here. Yeah, when it gains sentiency and it starts, reproducing and doing other things, like that's a real problem that a lot of people are weary of. Even the people who make AI are scared of this. People who make AI are even, and this is a very scary thing that an AI expert was explaining, but he said, like, the way it goes, that there's this black box where all this magic and all this like thinking happens in AI that we don't truly understand. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, you guys are making it, you're doing it, but you don't understand it? And they're like, yeah, pretty much. Like, and we don't really and they're over here gauging the capability of AI, knowing that yeah, it can gain sentience, but they're not all the way sure if AI is going to take that direction. So, like I said, AI is like this black box that we're still opening. Like, we're ripping it up layer by layer, figuring out more and more things about it. And when we finally get down to the center of the box, I mean, who knows what we're going to be at that point, or who knows what AI is going to be at that point. But I'll just tell you this right now. I'm gonna know as we're going layer by layer, I'm getting more and more anxious.
Entrepreneur in every state to do the same. So that's what I think is happening. And I'm happy to provide the data, as I mentioned earlier, and let the government and their special agents in all of these different departments I'm working with now, I'm proud to be providing this information.
You know, and I kind of agree with Jeremy down there. I don't think it could gain intelligence, but I think it can, I mean, not sentience or, real emotion, but I think it can fake it. I think it can do a good job faking it. Remember, AI is already doing like therapy. People are already asking AI for their mental problems. So AI is already being trained to be able to at least mimic and fake human emotions and be able to solve human problems already, sadly. Hey, stop writing on your goddamn prompts into Chat GPT, bro. Now, hopefully that's not what you're doing, but some people are actually doing that. It sounds oh so sad when you think about it, though.
I've kicked the door open on something very, very nasty.
Kevin, I would like to take a look at that information as well. So I'll pick up with you about that off camera. What I wanted to ask you is, a lot of this sort of doomerism around unemployment that we're talking about comes from the CEOs building the AI companies. And this is something that's always caused me a bit of cognitive dissonance, which is, I think if you go back to, I've got some quotes here from March 2021. Sam Altman said, and he's for anyone that doesn't know, the CEO, co-founder of OpenAI, which is the maker of ChatGPT, AI will probably replace most of the jobs people do today. Entire job categories will be totally gone. And then Elon Musk said,
like, bro, before AI, like, I would have to have a clipper, a video editor, all that type of crazy stuff. Actually, I probably still need a clipper, but I got AI for that. Like, I'm talking about on-stream clipping, but I have AI for my clippers. I have AI for clip making, like, for short form and long form. But before AI, I would have to pay some guy out in India or Afghanistan for this stuff. Like, just remember that. Excuse me. But back in the day, I had to pay somebody that I couldn't even pronounce their last name to do a thumbnail or an edit. Now I just go to my favorite AI service, pay the monthly fee, and I'm getting it done. And yes, it's way cheaper than paying my favorite guy out there in India, like what, $15, $20 per thumbnail and maybe $40 per video edit. It's way cheaper. But do you see the problem there? You know how much jobs ChatGPT just took away, because now I can make my thumbnails, do video edits, and all this stuff with ChatGPT and other AI tools. Basically replace my whole editing team.
May 24, probably none of us will have a job.
And here's the thing. I know you're saying, Sean, you evil capitalist. Sorry, but S.E.T, you evil capitalist. And I'm like, bro, these niggas out here cutting costs. I got to compete, bruh. It's a competition out here. I got to cut costs. When they start going up their costs and hiring back their editors and clip makers, I will too. I'm a reasonable person, but I got to stay competitive out here in these streets, bruh.
Want to do a job, it's kind of like a hobby. You can do a job, but otherwise AI and robots will provide any goods and services that you want. And Dario, who's the founder of Claude, which is the other major leading AI model, said, this was in 2025, AI could eliminate half of all entry-level white-collar jobs within 5 years, a shift that could push unemployment up to 20%. The public is being sugar-coated on what is coming. These are the people that are most well-placed. And
I think the only way, guys, to really help this out is, and this is going to sound crazy, but I don't think we should allow businesses to utilize AI. I think AI should only be allowed to be used for a person. Like it can only be used as an assistant for a person. It cannot be used to replace a person, but it can be used as an assistant for a person. So if everybody gets Chat GPT and not the businesses, well, then you can only get the Chat GPT if you hire an actual human. And that'll be the only way to low-key replace this. Is not let AI replace us, but let it be an assistant to us, which it should be. But for some reason, hey, man, people get greedy. And instead of producing, let's be real, they could give us AI and produce our productivity, but it's way cheaper just to replace us altogether. Even though increasing our productivity would make things cheaper on them as well. But hey, man, people get greedy.
Arguably, I mean, it depends how you look at it, have the least incentive to say that their companies are going to cause societal harm. And they're saying that their companies are going to cause massive, massive unemployment.